Bet you never fuck with a thug, huh? You ain't never fuck with a thug, huh? Bet you never fuck with a thug, huh? You ain't never fuck with a thug, huh? Princess cuts got gold on my tooth. 40
Good. Don Rio, you know what it is, man. Once in the blue moon, blue hundreds, you know what it is. Shout out 4000 West. Shout out Ambitious Moguls, everybody over at Mogul Wellness, you know what it is. For me, I'm about to do an interview today with my guy O from 410. You know what I'm saying? Get in some work today. For me, just holla at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the line.
Trying to get busy, nigga, trigger finger itch. Razor on the tongue, says she love $150.
You know, we here today in sunny Burbank, California. 4000 West, the tune 4K to be exact. You know, my home front for me and Ambitious Moguls to make film and do all types of media here in California. Today, man, I got one of my brothers with me, man. I haven't seen this man, and shit, it's been about, 4 years until the other day, yesterday.
3 or 4 years solid.
Man, this right here, Don Rio, Blue Hunters Rio.
Don Rio.
Y'all remember, you know, we had a real era in the Baltimore, D.C., you know, New York markets a few years back. The Blue Hunters era, man.
For sure.
And honestly, I think we not done with that era, bro.
Not at all. Not at all. It's actually a perfect time, like, you feel me, to pick back up where we left off at. You know what I'm saying? We set a lot of trends. As far as my artist development and the path that I took, you know what I'm saying, we kind of just took the whole East Coast approach. We didn't just focus on that one place. So,
Real talk.
For me, I definitely appreciate you for that and giving me a little roadmap and blueprint. But definitely, we just getting back started again, you know.
Yeah. So, you know, for y'all that don't know, man, Rio, I actually met him, and it's coming up on my birthday, but what's today, like the 10th, 11th, the 24th, you know, be the top of the Scorpio season. His birthday is actually Halloween. And I met him during a Halloween birthday party with my brother Inkwell in Baltimore. It was my 30th birthday, actually, and I'm about to be 39. I'm telling my age, I ain't gonna be high on y'all. But, man, I was so busy running around and stuff during my party, I couldn't even enjoy it. Everybody drank my liquor up. At the end of the night, this man here handed me a bottle of rosé. Not an open one, not a glass. Rosé to me, you know what I'm saying?
Real niggas do real things.
Yeah.
Real niggas do real things.
And, I mean, it just, you know, like, when I think back to just times in this dude being in my life, bro, it's like the best gangster movie, you know, the dude meet the young cat coming up. And it's just like, he's been an exemplary dude, man, an exemplary gangster, I'll even say. You know, to the point, you know, I had to give you a little space because I was like, man, I'm trying to square up a little bit. And at one point, I was like, hot. Yo, my man was super litty, you know, and we didn't really fall out behind it. We gave each other space,
real nigga time.
And it was still a lot of love from afar.
Yeah,
and that's when I started focusing on things like this film. But I remember you said to me recently.
That's a true story too. That's a true story.
I remember us sitting, I think we was in the alley on like chasing Caroline, and you brought it up. You was like, man, oh, you told me a while ago, you know, everybody lucky I'm staying in the DMV in Baltimore and stuff. I can take my energy to California. Okay. And I always knew I was meant to be here, but you have one of the most cinematic minds, man. Take me back to, man, I remember taking you to the studio that day when you made Thug.
Oh, yeah.
But you made one of the most cinematic looking pieces of film as the backdrop to that song, man. Take me back to that time, bro.
Thug, we went to, that was Mo's studio, right?
Yeah.
In PG County.
Yes, sir.
Off of Barnabas Road over there.
I'm trying to think, was the Baltimore riots taking place? Was that one of them nights where we was kind of trying to escape the curfew?
I think it might have been either right before, but the engineering process was in that too, because we came back and engineered the song like 3 times to get the sound that y'all hear on whatever the track is right now. But definitely the mind frame, the mindset for Thug, everything that was going on. The virus was already brewing. Remember, it was a lot of like shit going on with the police and black people, period. And then there was just shit going on in my personal life, you feel me, that was a factor in how the sound came out and all of that shit.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We know we always keep everything fly anyway, regardless, you feel me? So it just was like a perfect world when this what it's supposed to sound like right now. I don't know what the fuck y'all niggas listening to or what y'all doing, who you track with or who you hustle with, but my thing sounds something like this, and that's how we got Thug. You feel me? I think I had just came back from New York. You feel me? For me, like you said, we ain't gonna get crazy on camera. I just came back from New York and I got back to Baltimore.
Yeah.
And you was like, yo, we in the studio with Most, we locked in, don't. At the time, you was mad at me too, because I used to be late to certain sessions, and we couldn't get the money back.
He always, his first album, I'm always negotiating. Hey, don't burn him up with the first album. Don't add that one at the end, please. Like, yeah.
That's a fact, and I'm getting there all late, you feel me? Just doing other shit respectfully, you feel me? Definitely.
Nah, but you was running around, man. You was moving and shaking, man. We both were. You was doing it at another level than I was, man. But it's like your energy was so it was igniting, bro. Everybody around you was getting sparked up by the energy space you was in, bro.
For sure.
You know, like if we lived in a paid and full, type of world or whatever, you would have been like that. The money making Mitch, you know what I'm saying? Like you fired everybody up, yeah.
Oh God, everybody say that. Everybody say that.
And just a good hearted, good spirit with everything you was doing too, man.
Nah, it was out the mud for real. It was a whole real vibe. I already had the energy musically from, of course, my brothers Vega, my son Vega Ramon.
Yeah.
So
music, Blade Gang.
Yeah, Blade Gang. Shout out to Blade Gang. You feel me? The whole Buck 50 gang. We had Motion in New York already, but of course I'm on a whole different program, family. For me, of course, outside, it's outside, and you feel me. So, just took advantage of that and put the sound on record. Because at the time, you remember we went through all them other sessions at the other studio.
Man, I kind of watching the dude record you. I'm like, yo, my man, letting your voice peak.
Yeah.
You gonna have distortion when you mix.
Nigga, said, nah, we out of here. Pack this shit up.
And shout out Most Money. He was recording, I think, either Law 1 or 2 for Shock Lizzie at the time.
That's a fact.
So it was
he
like,
I was off too at the time.
Yeah, I was like, yo, I'm gonna take you to the spot that one of the best in the whole tri-state is recording at. And it's like you caught the win there, bro. You know
True story. And Most was cool. Everybody in it was cool. Yeah. Show love.
Shout out King Billionaire.
For my son King Billionaire for sure. Like, everybody showed love, helped me adjust properly. Then I started making music that was more formatted for me for what it was, not just raw music, you feel me? Which both I don't take to either one. I still like making raw music, but of course once you learn how to format your music and deliver it the right way, you start getting them timeless records like Thug. You feel me? To tie it all back in, get Thug and that little pocket of music. But definitely was an era, you feel me? Was a whole era. That was like one of my first songs I ever recorded, to be honest with you. It was probably in the batch of the first 8 to 10 songs I ever recorded. Man,
it definitely was in that first 8. And, you know, and I remember when you made that, just being like, man, this is the bar. You know what I'm saying? Like,
God.
You kept stepping it up from there. You know, it's funny because I wasn't even really that interested in touching artists. When I remember when you first started talking about rap to me, I'm like, bro, just get in the studio. Let me hear something. Don't talk me to death.
Literally told me that. Like, I done been through this 100 times, bro. Honestly, like, I done blew thousands of dollars on artists already, just investing in the studio, this and the third. And I was like, well, look, I'm already in the studio. And he was like, you know what? I'm going to come out your session in like a week or something. It was some real, like you said, the magazine.
Yeah, real talk, yo.
Niggas, I'm going to come out your session next week, you feel me?
Yeah.
I had like 4 songs with Cuz. I don't even remember Cuz's name. Like, I couldn't even tell you his name because I ain't never reached back out to him.
I just remember it was in a little crib or something, a little house or something. We went down the basement or something.
He came in, bro, seen that joint red line, and he said, nah, cut this joint off, pack this shit up.
Yeah. Nah, man, it's just show that time for bruh, just such an interesting era, just civil disarray in the areas we was living in. The streets was dangerous, but it was like a black Hollywood energy involved with DC at the same time too, man.
For sure.
New York always being an epicenter and a place we kind of looked up to on the East Coast. You know, that era was an era where Baltimore was catching up to what DC had already been since, you know, the 90s, early 2000s and stuff. And, you know, for me to just be in so many areas around so many different types of people and transplants, bro, you know, you stood out, you know what I'm saying? You still do, man. And that's how I'm just like, what I really see you evolving into is still dabbling in the music, but really getting into this filmmaking side of things, man.
For sure.
You know, I see him, he about to be a big component of Ambitious Moguls already today. Shout out my man, Feezy, man, from Big U's Camp, Unique ENT.
For sure.
Folks is looking at videos he did 6 years ago, like, yo, I need him to write a video treatment for me before he go back east this week. You know what I'm saying?
There was a certain aesthetic to music that wasn't there yet. You feel me? That I always wanted to push, which was like a little bit more the quality, but it's more like a rugged, grimy. You know what I'm saying? Like right there type of thing.
You almost was in a zone that Griselda started giving me the energy. Like, before I even really got all the way hip to Griselda, I think you was kind of giving us a preview of what that upstate New York vibe is like. You know, y'all not the five boroughs, but man, I did my homework as the years went on. And it's like, you from Newburgh, New York. That's like gang central in New York, like one of the most gang-rated places. So, yeah, you know, if anybody go back and look at Vega Ramon's Super Coding, you know, he featured on this song, and it's like these dudes is on the block washing their hands with champagne and leaving bottles on the ground like they Capri Suns and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's a whole different time.
And I the energy was real. You know,
and we was definitely doing anything. Like, we was just doing anything at the time. Like, you know, you gotta learn shit. We was just doing anything. Good shit, not like in a bad way. Just do it, whatever we wanted to do type of thing. Go do a show here, go do a show there, go all over here, do a show. Shoot a video there, whatever the case may be. And then once it got a little more organized, it honestly, it helped for a certain direction, but the speed changed for me, if that makes sense. You for me, the direction was right, but the speed, it changed the speed of certain things, because of course now you're accounting for a lot more people's say so in certain things once you're in agreements with them and shit like that. But
man, I mean, this game is really just a big logistics game, man. Yeah. Managing personalities, resources, and just knowing you working smart with folks that amplify and kind of stack the equation, you know what I'm saying?